Akanksha Fashion is a garment manufacturing industry in India. The apparel industry is owned by Mr. B.T. Patil. He was born in a very small town in India and belonged to a very poor family. He completed his high school in 1989 and moved to Bombay, leaving his family and having nothing in hand. He was never acquainted to English. Mr. Patil worked in many random factories for few years and having a first salary of 14 rupees per day, that is 17 cents in USD. Later, in 1993, he joined a garment manufacturing industry named Midas Touch as an office boy, where he lifted shipping boxes. From there, he started exploring the company and learning more, which eventually made him a clerk. He kept working harder and spent 13 years in the same industry, Midas Touch, where he paved his ways from an office boy to an international customer relationship senior manager. Then, in 2006, he started his own manufacturing company in partnership with his friends, having 30 machines and 35 employees with an annual revenue of $65,000. Unfortunately, the partnership did not go well, and for the next 6 years, the company Oxford Apparel faced huge losses. He separated himself from the partnership and continued as a sole proprietor named Akanksha Fashion. He worked with many national and multinational big brands, and currently in 2020 their revenue was $3 million. In the year 2021, Mr. P.T. Patil was awarded as a business icon and a trendsetter by one of the biggest media channels in India called Lokmat. In 2018, Mr. Patil built a new infrastructure for his factory located in New Bombay, and currently Akanksha Fashion has 350 workers and 30 staff members as of 2022. There are 150 Japanese tech LED machines. Its current production capacity is 80,000 pieces per month. Akanksha Fashion manufactures for women's western wear and are into wovens only. Its product line includes women's tops, dresses, jumpsuits, pants, plazos, and semi-formals, etc. They also manufacture products for kids wear like dresses, jumpsuits, and tops for girls. AF produces garments for pantaloons owned by Aditya Birla Group, which is one of the leading brands in the great demand, having 400 plus stores in India spread around 200 cities in the country. Pantaloons fashion retail store stocks over 200 licensed national and international brands, from which Akanksha Fashion produces for Honey, Annabelle, and Bear. Shoppers Stop. Shoppers Stop is one of the largest retail outlets in India, having a number of 250 outlets across India. Akanksha Fashion produces for one of the six main brands of this fashion retail store called Fritini. Being Human by Mandana Industry has 500 stores across India and is owned and founded by the most famous Bollywood actor Salman Khan. AF was awarded as the best vendor of Being Human in 2018 in terms of product quality and delivery periods. Future Lifestyle Fashion. FLF's fashion retail named brand factory outlets are into apparel and footwear, and they have 120 stores across India, and they are the buyers of AF. Akanksha Fashion started its exports with some international brands named LTP, based in Turkey, Enota, a Kuwait based brand, and Munarisa, a Poland fashion brand. Surprisingly, today Midas Touch is one of the competitors of Akanksha Fashion, where Mr. Patil worked and gained his innate skill sets and experiences into the fashion garment industry. The owner of Midas Touch, Mr. Ashok Rajani, and the ex-boss of Mr. Patil is now his competitor. Their company has revenue of $6 million. However, currently Midas Touch is almost on the verge of closing down due to its major debts. Midas Touch was majorly into women's western wear. Another competitor of AF is Bombay Rayon Fashion. BRF is into garment as well as textile manufacturing. They produce textiles like cotton, linen, yiza, cotton viscose, polyester, tussle, modal, and lycra, etc. There is a lot to take from this industry in terms of its technological advancements and sustainability measures. Bombay Rayon Fashion has one of the most technically advanced European machineries in India for quality checks of their raw materials. They considered their competitive advantage as their production capacity. Let's talk about their sustainability measures. Bombay Rayon Fashion has taken measures in order to maximize efficient water usage. They introduced a new sulfur dyeing process, which is a continuous dyeing method that does not require any water, allowing reduced water usage. Their plant located at Tarapur has a capacity to reduce 50% of efficient water, equipping the unit to recycle up to 4 million liters of water per day. The company aspires to increase this capacity up to 90% in the next few months. They also have the cutting edge technology that is the energy cogeneration design, which allows the plant to reduce 48 tons of steam per hour, adding up to 250 units of coal being saved every day. There are a total of 12 departmental stores in the 5 floor infrastructure of the factory, starting with the director's office, production manager's office with the design studio, head designer and his team, cutting department with the cutting master, inventory, stocking and his managers. QC room, that is the quality control room where product inspections takes place. Accounting and finance department with the accounting manager, HR manager and a merchandiser with his team. There's a pattern making and button holding floor with the pattern making master and his team. Ironing, finishing, and packaging departments with the finishing and shipment managers with their teams. Stitching department with its managerial team. There's a conference room where meetings with buyers are held. Reception, cafeteria, pantry, and 4 restrooms each floor, giving a total count to 22 restrooms in the entire infrastructure, assuring the health and well-being of the workers. Another strength of Akanksha Fashion is its workforce. AF has an industrious workforce in their factory, due to which they're always in a better position when it comes to quality checks and timely deliveries. The entire team of AF is extremely dedicated and skilled. The amount and quality of work provided by the workers in the factory is because of the company providing the best incentives and keenly looking after the well-being of each and every worker. Each and every worker has been given proper medical insurance and securities. The director keeps personal attention to each and every employee and fulfills all their requirements, right from the workers' health to funding the medications of their family members whenever required. He also provided finances for their children's education whenever needed. During COVID, AF paid 100% salaries and wages to the company employees and workers, even though the company was shut for a year, just to make sure that the employees do not suffer in such crisis. Also, they funded the COVID 19 treatments and medications for all the workers and their families whenever required. SIDEX compliance is an international standard for sustainability, environment, and social responsibility. The 4 pillars of SIDEX include labor standards, health and safety, environment, and business ethics. Kanksha Fashion has always followed a traditional business model and needs and have the scope of technological innovation. This is an interesting fact. There are many retail giants who do not work ethically in the industry just to earn profits, and if the manufacturer do not get alert or do not understand the strategical trap and fall in it, then that particular manufacturer may face losses. For instance, the Reliance Trends is a fashion brand of the Reliance Group owned by one of the richest men in the world. This company first gives a good profit margin to the manufacturers while buying their products. Eventually, they increase their order quantities. By this, the industry finds the buyer very profitable for their business. However, they completely try to conquer the entire production capacity of that particular industry, and this is how, during the process, the industry gives up on the other buyers due to the profitable business by the current buyer. Now, once they become the sole source of profit of the business, they reduce the profit margins of the manufacturers and eventually create a monopoly in that particular factory. First, the designer and the merchandisers team have a meeting with their buyers. The designers here at AF propose some designs to their buyers, and the buyers too have a range of collection for garments they want to purchase. Integrating patterns and making adjustments in the designs of the apparels and finalizing them. Then the director examines the designs and calculates the cost of production according to the MOQs, that is the minimum order quantity. At the end of the meeting, they finalize the number of designs, cost of per product, and the order quantity. Then the merchandisers team work on the fit sample, that is producing the same pattern in any other fabric and presenting it to the buyers for approval of the fitting. The buyers either approve it or asks for modification. After the changes, the production sample is stitched in the original fabric. After the approval of the production sample, the production starts finally. Now the fabric is ordered in bulk. While the fabric order gets placed, the patterns of different sizes are prepared. After the fabric is delivered, the inventory managers inspect the entire fabric for quality defects and damages. Once the fabric is approved, then it is placed into layers for cutting. The design patterns in different sizes are then placed in fabric lots and the cutting is done on the bulk fabric by the cutting machine. Now, the fabric that is cut according to the patterns are split in different sizes and then taken to the stitching ahead. Now, the stitching department works on the final product and also the accessories. Once the stitching is done, the garment is then taken to the buttonholing and finally the finishing department. Here, the finishing department cuts all the extra threads and finishes it. Then the ironing is done on the garment with the steamed iron. After pressing the product, the tags, labels, and extra buttons are attached along with the RFID tags provided by the brand itself. Then the products are placed in the bags and are packed into cartons segregated size wise. Lastly, the boxes are then shipped to the buyer's warehouse. Yes, the written is truth. Provenance is an app that measures sustainability. We live in a world where consumers need to know everything about what they buy. People choose to improve the planet's conditions by ensuring what they buy is sustainable in various aspects. They provide certifications and examine a company in the following aspects: climate, waste, nature, workers, and communities. They work to ensure that brands and industries avoid greenhousing in terms of carbon measures, renewable energy, etc. in climatic conditions. Fully compostable packages, recyclable packaging, reduced material waste, upcycled ingredients, etc. in waste control segment. Then comes the nature's conservation, cruelty-free measures, organic ingredients, reducing water usage, vegan and vegetarian trademarks. Various workers' welfare measures like audited working conditions, fair trades, living wages, support trade unions, support black owned businesses, etc. Community supports like charity donations, family owned businesses, female owned businesses. Provenance provides information and certifications and it proves to the consumers that what they are buying is totally sustainable. RFID chips are the real-time trackers of the work going on the floor. This keeps the management updated with the entire progress of the manufacturing process.
So how can companies keep track of the supply chain to make sure that all products and processes are documented correctly and can be traced back to verify their spot in the manufacturing process? At IBM Research, scientists are using the IBM Blockchain Transparent Supply Platform, or BTS for short, to help the textile industry. We're using this platform to build a shared tamper-proof ledger that tracks how the fabric was manufactured from source to sales, including who, what, where, when, and under what conditions. Piacenza is one of the leaders in high-end fashion fabrics and accessories, supplying some of the world's most famous fashion designers with exclusive textiles. Almost every product involves over 70 steps and is unique in terms of raw material choice, style, and color. With so much customization, it's absolutely imperative that Piacenza maintain their edge by ensuring aligned, transparent, and efficient supply chain at all levels.
If we see a smaller picture of it, we can see steps like the fabric getting converted into the garment getting packed, finished, pressed, and then shipped to the customer.